Okay, and we're back. So apologies for that. My internet actually completely died. Okay, yeah, so I did get it working. So let's look at what I did. So basically, in the push pointer, what we were doing is we were dereferencing it. And that was obviously no good. Yeah, because that was so now we interpret it as a pointer, which is what we should have been doing, and then we just put the value of the pointer. And now it all works. So I did actually make an example here. Read.chasm. So, and I also add it to standard defs. So we push the amount we want to allocate, then we call malloc. Then we push the length of it, which is usually going to be the same as the one that you want to allocate. So, you know, yeah. And then you push the file descriptor, then you do read, and then you do freeze. So if I basically compile this, read.chasm, and then read.tim, we can type here hello world, and it doesn't print out. I could make it just for demonstration purposes. So in here, in here we can print it like this and cast it, and this should work. So if I build this, that did not work. Not. Yeah. So actually, I need to do. I don't need to cast it. It'll just be a warning. That's okay. Yeah. So if we run this now, actually, tired test slash read.tim hello, then it prints hello. So it actually is working properly now. So that is how we wanted it. We don't really have a way to work with it yet, but we can implement that. So let me go ahead and commit this actually. Added read read native function, and added example or added test for it as well. And so we'll push it away. There we go. And I'll make sure, let's see. Yeah, make sure that this worked. Yes, all right, so that seems to have worked. Let's look at, now, open. So this is Perl. What is open in C? Yeah, so let me look at that. So it's in 2. Alright, open, yeah. Open and possibly create a file. So we want to be able to open and close files. And then if we can write to the file as well, we could work with files. And so this could, technically, if I wanted to, rewrite the assembler in itself. So rewrite TASM in itself. Not sure that's really a good idea to do. And that'd be better to do probably with the actual programming language once we get there, because that'd be pretty cool. But for TASM, I don't think it's worth the effort of that. But yeah, so we can actually add native open now. So if I yank this, so that'll go up here because it'll be 0. So native open, and yeah. So what are all the arguments? Let's see. Does this have open? So that's create. We don't care about that. Open. So the path and then the flag. So the path would just be, yeah. Okay. So so it'll be the pointer on the top and then the flags. So yeah, so read only. So we can just define these. So read only. What are the actual flag values though? I think I can check that. So if we don't use that right now, and we just basically in here, we can get rid of all this and just print f. So %b, %b, %b. And let's just look at some of these. So O read only, O write only, read and write mode, and yeah. So if we look at those, we could have more than. All right, so let's just look at what those are. So if we actually, yeah, if I open place.chasm file, my screen is yellow now. So let's just do native 0. And yeah, so that's all we need to call. So then down here, we can just do native open machine. And let's build that. Undeclared. So do we have to include that? Let's see, is it in here? Perhaps. So we can go to .h, tag include fcntl.h. Alright, so whoops. I don't think it was. Yeah, so yeah, I actually spelled that wrong, so that's why. Okay. Yeah, so right here, like that. And unused parameter machine. And I spelled printf wrong. Okay. So now, unused parameter machine. That is okay. So now let's try to run it on test.tasm, test.tim, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so it's just in this order. Prevent creation if already exists. So when you do it, you would usually do something like this. You probably can do it without though, because I'm not sure how we could handle that. Like where you would want to do that without doing some weird stuff. So for now, we'll only handle one of them. And then this can just be a pointer that is on the stack. So yeah, let's actually do that. So we can get the FD is 3. So yeah, so O create, that one is 0, 1, 2, 3. So create a file for this exist. That's just what we'll do right now. So yeah, we'll do open path, and then yeah, so well, we can just call it in here, but we'll do what is this called? So a flag equals pop machine. Yeah, so that flag will be on top. For now we won't pop that. So yeah, let's put flag in here. That'll just be a value, and then actually the pointer to the path will be pop machine as well. The first one, no, the flag will be on top. So yeah, so we can do something like that. And then that, and then we'll just print this out. So yeah, so we can see what it does. So that is that. So let's do push 14, and yeah, so what's the, yeah, we'll just push 28, and then we will malloc, and then put 28, and then we'll call read, which actually we don't have it. So read is 2, malloc is going to be native 3. I'm not going to worry about freeing, because yeah, so then that'll be what we put at the top, and then we can push the what is this one? Which was it? 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So create file that doesn't exist. So that's kind of what we need to do here. So let me. All right, and we have some issues. Yeah, so that doesn't work. But we can we can do that. Will that work? All right, yeah. So we can just make this a word, and then we can interpret it as a string. So word, or as a pointer rather. As pointer, something like that. Int from type word. So this, yeah, this can be word as well. Actually, we can just do int, and we can do as int, and this can be .as pointer, and then we don't have to do it all there, and that's probably better. So now, yeah, okay, test.tasm, test.tim, Stack Underflow. So okay, so we might have messed up the example. So let me test.read.tasm. Push that malloc, push 14. Yeah, so we didn't actually push 0. Alright, so then we can type in the yeah, test.tim. Now we can type in the file path. So for now we won't do anything and it'll not work. Well actually, did it create? It doesn't seem to have created one. and return -1. So what does that mean? Alright, open. If it is -1, then error number is that. Alright, so that's what it was. It was an error. So what if instead of getting, we do O read only, and then O create, like that. So flag is not used, that's okay. And now we can run test.tin. I didn't mean to, alright, yeah, so then we should have that file. So that actually, we got a lot of other stuff. Yeah, so we got the other stuff around it. Let's print f that. That is, so that's not Tim, and it is that, okay, and then, yeah, so it gets all the extra stuff, so, okay. Let's see, so, you can't just do create only. Okay, alright, yeah, and then this, let's do that one. Test.txt. Alright, and then txt. And it has that at the top of it. So I'm not sure why. Yes. So let me actually print out what this is. So create, because that I might have been using the wrong one. So it's actually 64. Okay. So we can define all of these. Yeah. So are they actually, I'm assuming not. Yeah, that's not. So that's gonna be how we have to do that. Yes, remove that. So let's see, if we just print all of them out. So we know that this is 0, 1, 2, and that's 64. So what is this one? So this one is O, and then O append. Three. 64, 128, 120, 1024. Okay. 3. Yes. Alright. So what happens if we do it without the ocreate? Then what does it do? Yeah, so it doesn't work if you don't have it. So we do need that. So basically we have, I guess we have one of these, for however you want to open the file. And then these, so those are the ones that we'll handle now at least. So basically we'll have 2 arguments always. So you will push, instead of pushing 3, so you push 0, 1, or 2. So we'll just do 2, that's read and write. And then you'll also push 64 or 128. Depending on if you want to just open the file or close it or create it. If it doesn't exist. So yeah. So that's basically what we need to do. So we can define those. But first let's pop them here. So basically flag 1, or actually this can be flag mode, and then we can have flag flag creation, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how they're called, but as and yeah, so this can be flag creation, this can be flag mode, and now if I build that, I did mess that up because I removed this one. So there we go, now it seems to work. So test.tasm, test.tim, ASD, and alright, so it seems to have worked. So we can remove ASD. So I do need to figure out what all the extra stuff is about. But yes, so what if we set our own pass? We do test.txt. Then I'm assuming it doesn't have all this stuff. 3, and then test.txt. Yeah, so then it's just so that is, it is an issue with that. But that's okay. So we can do that. We don't support more than this now, but that is good enough. Good enough, yeah. So now let's go into test and then standard defs. And then we'll up here we'll define read only. Yeah, so I'll just do that. Read only is 0. Define write only. I'll do it like that is 1. Read and write. Let's see, what is a read and write? Yeah, I guess that one is good. Read write. How should I call this? Yeah, I'll just do that. Read write is 2, and then at get create. Yeah, so create is 64, and then def exclude, I guess, is what that is. So 128. So now we should be able to use this. Open.tasm. So we need to define one more thing actually. Def. So at def open is -0. Now open.tasm. And now we can do, so we need to allocate first. So we'll push 14, we'll push 28 actually, melon, and then we'll push 28 again. We'll push standard in, and then we'll call read. And then we can, so for this we need to, so that is, yeah, so then we can push, push read, read only, yeah, and we'll push create. And then we will call open. So let's try that. Not testing. So 4, 6. Oh, I didn't actually include import standard defs .cache. So that is important. All right, and then open.tim and test.txt, and okay, so that seemed to work. And now we should have test.txt, and it's actually normal now. So that's quite interesting. So did I not actually, you know, I don't think I removed it. Let me close this extra one. Actually, it's up here. Yeah, so well, let me see actually. Open.tasm, .tim, test.txt. Yeah, alright, so I just didn't rebuild. Yeah, let me remove that, remove these print statements here. Yeah, but so that works now, other than the extra characters. Let me actually rebuild it. Unused variable FD. Yeah, so do we want to return that? So that's just like the error, right? Right. So what, so can we write to it after opening? If we use that as the file descriptor. Let me try that. So let me see. I'm not really, like, I always use the C standard library for stuff rather than the direct syscalls, so I'm not sure exactly how it works. So that should read it, and then if we use the file descriptor, so yeah, we need to push it actually. So I think that is a good idea to push it. So tim.c. So yeah, we will just basically push file descriptor, machine, and then word file descriptor, something like that. Build that, and that doesn't work. This needs to be like that. Will that work? Okay, so that seems to work. So let me do .tasm, .in test, and remove test. Yep. All right. So whoops. Yes. All right. So now Whoops, open that chasm. So let's try to write to it now. Hello there, Attican Drake. How are you doing? How are you doing? So yeah, let's try to write. So now that'll be at the top. So that's the file descriptor. So we are going to have to swap stuff because we are supposed to push that. We can actually push stuff before that. Because, yeah, so I think if we go up here, we do push test. Doing pretty well. How about you? I am doing good. I'm doing good myself. So what all do we need to push for right? I don't actually remember. Because I'm... Alright, you know what? 3 right. So we need file descriptor, the buffer, and then... Alright, the size. So we can push 5. Let's do 4 because no new line for this one. And then we can save that. And then call it right here. Will that work? 10. Test. Now let's test. Alright, so I'm taking an electrical engineering student. Oh, sorry, I am an electrical engineering student. We learned a little bit of C last semester, but I totally forgot it. Now we're taking a C++ course. That is pretty cool. I have not looked into C++ enough. And I would like to. Yeah. Mission denied. So can I win? Yeah, I would recommend getting back into C though, because I quite enjoy it. Oh yeah, sudo yeah, so there's nothing in there, so I don't think it worked. So C syscall open file and write. And write. Now I could have completely messed something up. That is possible. To open a file, and then I want to write to it after opening. And since we're not using, and I want to go deep into software development instead of electrical tech, but I'm a bit scared because some people say it's saturated, so it's hard to get a job. Well, I wouldn't really know anything about that because I have not gotten a software engineering job. But I have heard some similar stuff to that. Well, I don't know necessarily that it's hard to get a job right now. Like, I think there's still a lot of jobs, but pretty soon, there's probably going to be, like, a lot less jobs, you know? Yeah. So, let's look at this again. So, we can do that. Close. Read. Right. Right. File descriptor. Open that. So, is it... no. That, and then the string length. So why did it not work? Oh, it might be because we don't close it. So let's actually add close. So for close, you just need the file descriptor. So we can duplicate the file descriptor. Yeah, alright, so let me add close. So that should be fairly simple to do. Why you want to build a VM in C? Because it's fun, I guess, to learn. I don't know, I'm having quite a bit of fun with it. So I guess that's the primary reason. And also I've learned a good bit. May I ask what you do? Well, I don't have a job right now. I'm in school, at the moment. Yeah, and gonna have to get a job soon. But at the moment I do not have one. Yeah, so close. You think it will improve the overall process? How do you mean by that? Yeah, so close, let me make this, so I'm probably actually gonna move some stuff around. So native close. Where are you from? The United States of America. So we'll make this file descriptor. Equal to file descriptor equals Attican Drake followed. Thank you, I appreciate that. Dot adds in. And then we can do close file descriptor. What is United States of America? So it's this really small country that that hasn't been around for very long, in all honesty. Yeah, a lot of people haven't heard of it though. Yes. Okay, so let me see. So this, we don't need to do that now. I don't know that close returns anything other than an error, and I don't handle any errors here, right now. But yeah, so native close. So now, yeah, this will be native close, and then this will become malloc, and then free. Your keyboard sounds good. Yes, I quite like my keyboard. It can get a bit noisy though. But yeah. So let's get rid of that and this sheen. And yeah, so now we do have to change stuff in the standard defs. What is your favorite design pattern to use? I don't know what design pattern means exactly. Because I am not smart. Like I probably know what it is, but I don't know the term. Oh, you mean like oh, okay, so like the programming paradigm kind of thing? Is that what that means? Yeah, all right. So this will become 4. This will become 5, and then close can be -3. All right. This looks very much different than the Introduction to C programming class that I got. Looks pretty difficult, to be honest. It's not very difficult. Design patterns are typical solutions to commonly occurring problems in software design. So what is like an example of that? So a lot of this isn't C, it is custom assembly that I made. But then the actual C code is obviously C. But yeah. So let me see, haha. So what was I doing here? So we have close. Yeah, so that should work now. I build this. And we do, alright, so I did actually forget to change the name to close. Oh, no. Why is there 2 rights? Open. Alright, I'm not sure what happened here. So I learned this stuff beside coding, like the things about data and all. Well, so I'm not sure exactly what you mean about the things about data. Like, do you mean like the data sizes, like bytes and such, or what exactly? Yeah, I don't need it here. I mean, there is a lot more other than programming that you have to, or other than coding that you have to know to program, essentially. I guess, is a way of putting it. That's that. Let's see, does that work now? Okay. Bits, bytes, and stuff like that. Well, yeah, it's good to know a lot about that stuff, especially if you were doing low-level stuff, because you have to, like when you allocate memory, for example, you have to know how much you need to allocate. It's helpful to know like the sizes of common data types, like pointers are 8 bytes, characters are a single byte, regular characters at least. Let's see, integers are 4, things like that. It's helpful to know that stuff. You don't have to technically, like, there's probably a lot of JavaScript programmers that don't know that stuff, but it's going to be helpful for your understanding. Yeah, so let me see. Whoops, I'm not passing. So yeah, now let's do close. But we need to duplicate the file descriptor. How many you said pointer have? 8. Is that not right? That might be wrong. I'm quite sure it's 8 though. I can test that. If I do just c.c really quick. And then printf size of well, yeah, so size of pointer. Word pointer. Not that. Yeah, so c.c, a.out, and 8. Yeah, so that is right. Thrilled to see people coding in Vim. Or I'm trilled. I'm not sure what trilled means. So I was coding a very basic program that calculates 2 variables, but it won't get the correct answers with very large numbers. Oh yeah, so that can be, yeah, I can actually, let me remove this stuff that I just did here. So that is probably because of the 32-bit integer limit, or well, any integer limit really, but 32-bit integer limit. So if you have something Like if you declare an int in C, for example, it's by default 32-bit. And then this is the limit. So anything above this, it doesn't recognize it, so it has to do it something to fit, so it overflows, essentially, so it becomes negative and then goes up from there, and it doesn't work at all. So you can use 64-bit integers, and that is a much larger limit. Let's see, does this have like a number? Yeah, so like this is the limit for 64-bit long int. Yeah, well, so there's a few different ways to declare it, but yeah, so you can do that. So that is probably the reason why that happened. Yeah, long int. You can also do it like int 64t, but I think you have to include the library for that. Yeah. So let me see. So close. So let me see. So to do this, I need to do, and then thanks for explaining. No problem. Drama Dark Lemon, I think is how you pronounce that, just followed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so now we have too many on the top, so we need to just move it to the bottom. That would be helpful, though, to have a... Yeah, so actually, let me do something here. So let me just pick one. To just swap with the bottom, because here now I'm going to have to go through and actually figure out what it is. So, we have 28 here. Let's see, so that's me 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, actually in spot 0. Yeah, I can do that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, and then it'll switch, and then we can just pop it off. That's just the one that we pushed. So we don't need that. Yeah. So then, how hardware should I use to play with high voltages? What hardware? I'm not sure. I haven't really done anything with hardware like that very much. So I don't know. I am not sure. Yeah, so I think that will work now. Open.tim. Yes. That's ls, and then let's see, sudo cat test. And it didn't work, so it's still empty. But I need to close it. Yeah. Did it close though? Let me see if that actually did. Let me tim.c. So in the native close here, let me printf the file descriptor is. This needs to be actually like that, and then file descriptor. So we can see what that is. Yeah, and make sure it is right. So test slash open.tim and test. So it is 3. So I think that worked actually. I think I did everything right, but yeah, so now it's hard to remove this file. Test. Yeah, how do I do that? Test, remove, test. Yeah, I don't know how to remove it now. I could probably do. Yeah, I don't know. Oh shoot. You know what? What file? The file that gets created when you run it. Because I am working with Open right now. So it creates a file. Oh, you know what? I pushed it as read only, so that could be why it's not working. Let's do write only. Open. Oh, test. Open.tim. Test. Alright, so it failed actually. Alright, why did it fail? Yes. And alright, now it didn't fail. Alright, that is strange. Can I add it now? Okay, so I think that it actually worked. Yeah. But it doesn't work when the file... Perhaps I actually messed something up. not Tim. Yes, let me do a new file. So that's what, actually, no, I don't want to do that. Let me remove this file. Then I will modify this. So basically what we'll write to it will be, this is what I will write. So then I need to actually figure out the length of this is going to be 25. Okay, so let me try that. Fire, open up again, test. Alright, oh no, 5, so it's cat test. Okay. Let me actually add the new line. Yeah. So I'll just do like right this slash n. This will be 11. 11, alright, and then run that on open.tasm, open.tim test, and alright, so that's cat test. So it didn't work actually. Test. Remove it and then run it. Alright, cat test. Sudo. I've won this, so I don't think I think something is messed up somewhere. Yeah, so let me look at that. So this length I'm quite certain is right. But yeah. We are close though, because we are writing something at least. Even though it's not right. Let me actually look in standard defs. Did I mess up this? Create 64. That was up here. So that's how your pen profile. Disable blocking of the file open. So I think I do want to enable that though. And I think if I just go into here, and I just do something like O10 or O9 block, then we should be able to just access it properly. And remove test, and then yes, and then we can file this, and then that, and then cat. That. No, all right. So that didn't work. Okay. Let me. So why is right this? Let me do hello world like that. Yeah, so that's 14. Yeah, so let me run that now. Alright, so that works properly. So I must have been missing something. Missing something up. Remove that, yes. Remove test, yes. Alright. So we are getting closer. I need to figure out why we can't open it though. So let me just do C open can't access. Because I want to be able to do it without sudo. No, not that. Let's see. Do we need to run create first? Because create a new empty file. And we could just open this file, but I don't know that I want to do that necessarily. Is that file name and mode? Alright, reading, writing, or both. It is also capable of creating the file if it does not exist. So let's see, what? Alright, so alright, enable code on execution, enable input and output control by signal. Alright, so I'm not sure why it is blocked when there's an attempt to access it. So I don't think we need to print the file script anymore. Tasm s/open.tasm. I need to actually do it from in here. open that tin and test, and yeah, that test, and we still need the sudo. How do you change the permission? So let me do open file permission none. Okay. Yeah. 7 test. Text. No. Alright. File test. Regular file, no read. Alright, so actually, is that why? Let me modify this. So let me make it, read, write. Read, write. Something like that. I think that's how it is defined. So open.pattern. Open.tim. Test. And alright, so no read permission. So let me do open file, no read permission. Alright, alright, let me try this, because I want it to just be that by default. Let's see, so if we do, I think we can still do that. We don't need that though, because, yeah. So actually, then we can do, is that, let's see, so let me move test. Yes, and then we'll run this on open.tasm.tim test. There we go. Now we can access it. Okay, so that is what I want. Octal numbers. So file test. So yeah, now I can do stuff. And now we cat test. Yes. All right. So we can write to files now. That is pretty cool, actually. Yes. So what to do? Let me see. So let me move the test. So basically, we need to get rid of this. But I think I'm going to push this first. So text. $sign. No, that's not a $sign. There we go. N. Alright, and then there we go. Alright, now we got rid of that one, because I did not want that there. So now I can commit this. So we added the open and close. We actually close it in here. Yeah, so if we don't close it, then I don't think it'll work, right? LS, yeah, we'll call it. Cat LS. So it does still work, but closing it is probably still a good idea. Especially if we work with it later, but yeah, so I will just add close back. Yes, okay, so let me add -m. So implemented both open and close native functions and added them to standard defs, as well as an example of opening a file and writing hello world to it, and push that. Alright, yeah, so now adding changes is like that. Not too difficult. Yeah, alright, so this is pretty cool. We can write to file. Let me do a git clean, actually. So now it's all clean in here. We still have test.target, so what is that? Yeah, I can remove that. That was just, we don't need that. So let's see. So now we have open and close. What other things do we need? Yeah, that's what we need to do, is actually fix the build. Actually, build let me build all the tests. You know, I just removed them all, but so let's make sure it all works. So grid.tim, that works, and then hello world.tim, and that works, and yeah, so now open.tim. So lol, and then cat, yeah, so it gets all this extra stuff that we don't want. Also added that. No, alright, here's alright, remove the lol. Yeah, so we need to fix that. And I just completely messed that up. N.C. There we go. So, so it's in the path that it does not work. We pass this to a character like that. Like that. Build it. Test that. No, it is open.passing. And ls, and it's still not right, so wasn't expecting that to fix it, but worth a shot. It's probably a good idea to do that anyway. So when we print it out, it doesn't display those. Like, so if we print it here, like that, we do this, build.sh, go into here, and then open.sim. Text. So yeah, it doesn't print it with that, but it does. Let me see. So it does have a new line though. Yeah. So tire open.tim. Yeah. So it prints it with a new line. So that is where this comes from, I think. So let's remove test, and then also remove the lol. So where is it getting a new line from? You know what? In the read, when we read, it has a new line by default, does it? Doesn't it? It might have that. So how can we remove that? How? See, remove new line from read. Is that something that I can do? Alright. So let's see. Because that's what's happening, if I am not mistaken. A lot of messages. Okay, so let's see. So this is Python actually. Oh, that's not what I want. So C, well, it's actually link from read system. Yeah, because basically when we read here, is there buffer and length? Oh, it's probably because of the extra length. So the length, yeah. If we go into text, no, we're already in it. So if I exit out of this, cd test, open.testing. So if we make this length better, right? So instead of 28, we'll do 4. That's actually why, because testing, and then open.tim, and then test, and now there we go. All right, there we go. So that was just the problem. Was too big of a buffer. Yes. Okay. So now we can do that. And that works. So we can write to files. That's pretty cool. Move text, and then open that. So you do have to know how much you're gonna write there. So yeah, we can do that. Actually, 8. Because we can do .txt. So we can run this. Open.testing. And then yeah, so we'll just do test.txt, and alright, we do print it back. I need to get rid. And it did that again. Okay. So did I count it wrong? No, that is 8. So, let me go into here actually and get rid of the printf that I have there. And build it again. So why did it... So what if I make it 7? So too little. I open 10. That's not TXT. Alright, and then it becomes that. But when it's 8, when it's 8 is too much. So that is an issue. Open.pattern 10. That's not TXT. Yeah, so that is weird. Right. So what if we do one too many? Like if we do test.txtx. It still does that. That is so why does that happen? There's probably a good reason that happens, but yeah. Yeah, and then that just becomes test. Alright, did I actually change anything? So I changed that. And then, alright, so not very much. That file. Yeah, alright, so that's okay. I think that's probably gonna be about it. So I will just push this small change, added test to the, what function was that actually? That was in here, to the native open. Commit m added cast to string or star in the native open function. So I will push that, and alright, so that is probably going to be the end. So unless somebody in chat has something to say, then I will end it. So I'll wait a second and see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so if you have something to say, then say it now, or forever hold your peace. Okay. -1 upon failure. So we should probably check for failure as well. That's probably a good idea for next time. Okay, it looks like nobody has anything to say. Actually, I need to fix this. That is quite urgent to fix, actually, because it is completely wrong now. So now, you can still do that, but then you want to push 14, and you want to push pointed out, and then you call just right. Yeah, so I think that is it. Yeah, okay. And then this can also be it has 30 now. No, it's still 29 because I got rid of the record. So as well as couple native functions. Alright, yeah, so I will push that now. Add readme. Updated readme. And now if I push that, there we go. So now it reflects how the syntax actually looks. So I think that is about it. So yes, I appreciate everyone watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.